Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Looking a little bit like an American History X reject, or maybe the guy from the movie Powder. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Blade Runner 2049. Fairly recent film, not that new anymore, but I did finally see it a couple months ago, and then I watched it again last weekend. Let me start by prefacing this and saying I know I'm in the minority in regards to what I'm going to say, but also I didn't absolutely love the first film. I like it a lot now, but it took a while to grow on me. The more I liked cyberpunk movies and some of the ideas they had in the books and stuff, the movie I would rewatch over and over, and I go, oh, okay, and I really got into the first film, but it took some time. Now I like it a lot. It's not one of my favorite cyberpunk films, but it's definitely a good movie, and it's up there. So, that being said, I rewatched Blade Runner 2049, and I'm not a huge Ryan Gosling fan. I thought he was pretty good in this, but for the plot of the film, he's obviously sort of robotic in a way, for lack of a better term, but that's pretty apparent as the movie starts, that he is a replicant. The story is pretty much, I'm trying to think how I can tell it without giving away too much. Ryan Gosling's character is a replicant, but he's also a Blade Runner, you know, the people that catch the replicants that are doing bad things or whatnot, or have escaped with their, like in the first movie, they escaped a Mars mining colony or whatnot, and he, you know, takes them back and kills them or whatever, retires them, I think that's the term, retires. And throughout the film, he starts uncovering something that they don't kind of want him on, and he finds out that a character that you're not sure is a replicant or not has a child with a character that is a known replicant. So he's trying to figure out how, I guess, but also where those characters are and who the child is. I don't want to say too much more than that because there are a little bit of twists and turns in the film. I found the cinematography and the graphics to be really nice. I thought that they really got the dystopian cyberpunk look down. I thought they captured it very well. You know, it reminded me to a degree of a more broken down version of the first film, so I thought that was really cool. I still prefer the first film more than this one. I'm trying to think what else. I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. I thought the mood they set with the music and stuff was good. I'm trying to think of one of the other main actors or actresses. Obviously Harrison Ford is in it. Not a huge part, but a decent part. And Robin Wright Penn, is that her name? She is Sean Penn's wife, or was, I don't know if she's still married to him, but she was Jenny from Forrest Gump. She's in it. She plays a fairly big role, and she was alright. I didn't love her character, but I thought she was okay at what she did. That's about it. There are some twists and turns. I don't really want to say too much in regards to the plot. You know, there's like this resistance at one point that Ryan Gosling meets up with. There's obviously Harrison Ford's character, who's probably the best character in the film, even though he doesn't have a huge amount of screen time. He just, you know, Harrison Ford has a lot going for him. He's a great actor. He's a good-looking guy. You know, he has like an air about him in his movies where he's like a tough guy. So I think he has a lot going for him. He almost has that kind of, I guess, Steve McQueen type of air where a lot of actors don't have that. I don't think Ryan Gosling has that. I find his acting usually not to be very great. I find his looks to be sort of... So, not that I give a shit about his looks. I really don't care if he's good looking or not. But he's just a weird looking dude. I don't see what women see in him. So anyway, yeah, that's the gist of the movie. I just felt, and I know I'm gonna rub people wrong with this term. I felt like the movie was sort of unnecessary. You know, like spoiler alert, I guess, we still really don't find out much about Harrison Ford's character in regards to the first film. I don't get why this was needed. Besides them making money. It feels like a nice little side story or a continuation, but it's not like a grand continuation. The scope of the story feels sort of small in ways. Maybe it's just me, and it's long. It's like 2 hours and I think 40 minutes, where I think the first Blade Runner was in the 2-hour range, a little less than this. And also, the other part of that is, back when the first Blade Runner came out, those, effects were amazing. And they look awesome even today when you watch the Blu-ray. I'm sure they've tweaked them out a bit and done some, CG work or whatever on them. But I don't know. I feel like the first Blade Runner is sort of a classic. Not sort of, it is a classic in its genre for dystopian cyberpunk films. This one just felt like a small continuation with a short scoped or a small scoped sort of story. I didn't really care for any of the characters. With Ryan Gosling being a robot or a replicant, I didn't really care. There really wasn't anyone that I was like, oh, I really, feel for this person, or I wonder what's going on with them or how they're feeling. He didn't really do too much for me. I thought the ending was pretty good. I thought the arc of what happens to Ryan Gosling's character was pretty good. And the ending in general was pretty good. But I just don't understand why this is the way they went with the story. I didn't really feel it was needed. I don't really care about someone having a kid with a robot and whether or not that's feasible and how it happened and if it's a miracle. It just didn't, didn't hold the weight of the first film. So overall, I'd give it a solid mark. I thought it was decent, but I don't think it's going to go down as a classic, and I don't think it will ever really compare to the first. I don't know if they'll make a third. I think they did pretty well, but I don't think they hit the marks they really wanted to hit with this film in terms of making their money back. So I don't think they'll do a third. I don't really know what else they would talk about in a third film, unless they fleshed out some other character or something, or made a new character like they did with this one. But overall, it was pretty good, and it was good to see Harrison Ford in the role again. But you can only rely on that so much. The last Indiana Jones was pretty bad. It was okay. And, they keep doing that. There's going to be a new Indiana Jones now, and Harrison Ford again. And it's like, after a while, it's like, okay, I get it. People from our age want to see him and Ralph Macchio and all the other people that they saw when they were kids. But after a while, it just sort of gets old. I don't think Ryan Gosling brought too much new to the table, but overall I thought it was a beautiful film. I would recommend it to Blade Runner fans. I would recommend it to cyberpunk fans, but I would also say you leave the movie without too much. It doesn't feel like I left it with, wow, I have something to think about now. Not really. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like I'm completely off on my opinion? I know some people will say that. Do you feel the same as I do? What do you feel? Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.